What's going on, guys? It's Will Kelly with Military Lawn Cuts, where my wife and I own 2 lawn care companies. And in today's video, what I'm going to be sharing with you are the 3 KPIs that you need to be tracking in your business when you flip on that profit mode and when you're around that anywhere from probably $300,000 to $800,000 mark in your business. Now, this is very, very important because there are a ton of KPIs and people throw this term out there all over the place. Like, what the heck is a KPI? A KPI is a key performance indicator that gives you a pulse on your business. Now, there are literally thousands of KPIs that you can track in your business, but the question is, which ones actually matter and make sure you're moving the needle forward. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So the very first, let me grab my handy dandy marker here. The very first KPI, which is potentially the most important, is going to be the close ratio. All right? So the close ratio is very, very important because if you're not wanting to grow top line and you want to focus on your bottom line, you want to make sure that your close ratio is starting to come down to a reasonable percentage. But the question is, what is a reasonable percentage? Well, typically in a growing business, you want your customers to be accepting as many estimates as physically possible. Now, obviously, if you're going out there and everybody's accepting your estimates, you probably need to raise your prices because you don't want to be the cheapest. But this is assuming that you have a sustainable business, a couple employees, and you're wanting to now flip that profit mode on. This is what it's going to be. So close ratio, at our main location in Aubrey, we are shooting for, my GM, 30 to 50% profit margin. All right? Or not profit margin, I'm sorry, close ratio. All right? So on the higher end, out of 2 estimates that go out, we're accepting 1. On the lower, roughly if you give 3 out, 1 should be booking. Now, I will tell you from experience, last year we raised our prices way too much. We ended up being at like an 18% close ratio. And I will tell you, because typically you have churn in your business, which is about 10 to 15, maybe even 20%, it didn't help. All right, we were basically, the new customers that were coming in, they were going out the back door. So this, I think, is a reasonable close ratio that you're going to want to be, and you're going to want to track this and spring rush every single week. Last year we failed to do that. We waited for like a month, 2 months, and by the end of the spring rush, we lost all of our momentum of new customers that could get on with our services because we failed to track this close ratio in a weekly manner. Now, you don't have to do this all year, but maybe once a month in the slower seasons, you definitely want to track your close ratio. All right, moving on. The second KPI. Hey guys, these 3 KPIs, let me tell you this also. I'm going to give you guys a bonus thing at the bottom of this, all right? We're going to give a little bonus if you guys stick around to the end of the video. And if this is good, guys, hit that like button, all right? Hit the like button. Okay, so number 2. We are talking about labor efficiency. This is very important. In the summertime, when we're very busy, our main location will have typically around 9 field members out in the field with roughly 5 to 6 trucks, all right? And it's important that you track your labor efficiency because a while back, somebody asked me one time, they said, hey, Will, what do you think is the most expensive expense on your profit and loss statements? Like, what is the thing that's going to cost you the most money in your business? And I was like, oh, dude, that's so easy. I was like, equipment. I'm spending so much money, like literally, I'm buying all these trucks, I'm buying all these ramps, I'm buying all these mowers. Like, easily, that's equipment. And he said, no, Will, you're wrong. It's not equipment. It's people. It's wages and it's salary. So this is a huge, huge KPI that we need to be tracking. And what I'm talking about labor efficiency, I'm talking about direct costs for the field team members, okay? Now, what we like to do, obviously we have P for P, so we go off of budgeted hours and all that great stuff, but our baseline that we do not want to fall below is going to be 70% efficiency, and that should be the lowest average of the entire team, all 9 field members that are working out in the field. Obviously, you're going to have guys up in the 80, 90, 100% efficiency. You're going to have guys in the maybe 60s if they're just getting started and getting trained. But 70% is our absolute bottom line collectively as an entire team. And all this is, all labor efficiency is, guys, I'll give you literally the blueprint to figure this out. It's budgeted hours versus clocked hours. Okay? That will give you your labor efficiency. So for example, let me pull my handy dandy calculator out here. Oh, my phone actually died. But basically, let's say in an 8-hour day, you could just, if they get 6 hours of budget hours work done, just divide 6 divided by 8. That will give you your efficiency score, right? That's the second one that we track. Now, we are going to track this again every week, every month, making sure that we're above 70%. In a healthy business, a 75, 80% efficiency score is very good. That's exactly where you want to be. All right, number 3, again, build the blueprint for you guys. This is a profit-based business. Now, we're not trying to grow to like 1 million plus at our main location, right? So number 3, the last KPI that we're gonna look at and track is our, I'm gonna call them complaints, right? Now, / churn, we'll do that. Because if there's one thing that's going to kill your business, it will be the amount of people that go out your back door. I see too often, so many times when people get up to that $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 mark, and they're so focused on how do I get more customers? How do I get more customers? How do I do EDDM? How do I, gain more marketing in the springtime? But they neglect the customer service when you get that new lead to retain them for years. And what's happening is they're only staying for 3, 6, 8 months because the customer service and the training that you're training your team, you can't retain your customers. And what they're doing is they're going out the back door. And if you're not tracking this stuff, you're going to literally spend so much money out the door and it's going to just shoot yourself in the foot. So what I will tell you, obviously in a perfect world, what you would do is how many customers came in for the month, how many went out the back door, and you can get your basically churn on that. Now, that takes a lot of report pulling. It's very time consuming to do that weekly, monthly, right? I'm going to tell you what we focus on for our KPIs is basically the number of yellow slips each week, all right? So our threshold is a typical employee, can do about 10 to 15 lawns a day, 5 days a week. That's over 50 customers. We will accept 1 complaint out of 50 visits. That is the most we will tolerate. Anything above that, we're having a conversation and, could be a write-up or whatever, right? Repercussions. But as long as, so for example, if you have 9 team members, which we do in the summer at our main location, as long as we get under that number of yellow slips, because it gets crazy and there's a ton of work and all that stuff, we're good. We are focused on quality and we are focused on making sure the customer is taken care of. And so what I've noticed when I didn't do a good job at this, I would have team members that are getting 3, 4, 5 complaints a week, and I would not be having that conversation with them. That has completely gone away, and our retention has significantly increased because if you focus on complaints per employee and keep it to a reasonable amount, that will in turn fix your churn and you won't have to pull all these reports. Just focus on the one thing that is like the biggest issue in churn is like quality of service. And so if we can do that, we'll be good to go. Now, I promised you guys a bonus at the end of here, but I will tell you that you can only get it if you're subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead, turn the video off, and we'll see you in the next video. So for all of the subscribers, the true OGs, the supporters, let's get into it. Now, this is a profitable company. This is profit mode, all right? This is what we like because we want to increase our bottom line. I've seen and heard of $1 million companies not having much profit. I'd rather have a $500,000 company that's pulling out $150K each year than a $1 million company that's not pulling out much profit, right? So how do we get profit mode? Everybody is so worried about going and doing more or getting more customers. Going and sending out EDDM flyers and spending $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 on marketing for the year, all right? You don't have to do that, okay? There's one lever when you get to this point where you're doing above 300,000 and you want to turn on profit mode. There is one little thing that we love to do, okay? It's going to be upselling existing customers, all right? Now, when I say that, what I am referring to typically is one-click estimates. You basically create an email, send it out to them, and the old way back in the day was like, hey, we are offering mulch installations for this month in the spring. Respond with yes in all caps, and we'll come out and do a quote for you. As simple as that. That's basically what a one-click estimate is, right? You can have a button that they click and you get notified, or you can just do it the old-fashioned way and just say, hey, like I said, we're doing mulch. Just respond to this email. If you want a quote, we'll send somebody out there to get you a quote. And you will be surprised because when you get to this point where you have $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 company, it's no shortage that you probably have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 customers in your database as leads that have called you for a quote. We need to be farming those because they're absolutely free, okay? And if we want to focus on the bottom line, why are we going to go spend money, $15,000, $20,000 to go send out all these EDDM flyers when all of our money we can get back in the leads that we already have in our database? 3,000 leads, I send one email out. There's times last spring, we sent one email out and had about 60 to 80 people respond with estimates. Like, yep, I want one. 60 to 80 people. And from there, with your close ratio being around 30 to 50%, we're typically closing about one out of three of those. All from literally nothing, and I didn't have to spend a dime in marketing. Just about 10 minutes and make an email and send it out. That's it. And so that will absolutely increase your profit. So guys, if you found value in this video, hit the like button and support the channel, subscribe. We'll see you next time.